My name is Lubaina. I'm from India. I'm an artist and an architect. In my past 2 years, I've been practicing sculpture and ceramics after completing architecture. So I've been very excited to use my foundations about design and art and spatial planning into hands-on experiences with wood, metal, and clay. And I'm trying to create a niche in immersive art. My interest in art have been since childhood. I started off as painting and building something with my hands or crafts. I've always had this intuitive nudge to try something that involves me doing and building something. And I tapped into architecture, which definitely improved my thinking and my cross-disciplinary skills to involve documentation and a lot of analysis and planning and design. I've always been very interested about reading about golden ratio, Fibonacci sequences, universal laws, and a lot of spirituality and fractal science and things like that. I try to draw a metaphor from these concepts with the human experiences, and then try to portray that in my artwork, as well as make immersive art that also complements the space that we are living in. That's my moral responsibility as an architect. For example, I've had these artists, especially Robert Smithson. I don't know if I said it right. Yeah, Robert Smithson and Olafur Eliasson. These two have definitely inspired me a lot to see nature as is and kind of drawing relevance from that and portraying that into my geometry or the way I'm building my art forms. So my way of having audience look at my art is that it's just open to interpretation. Everybody has a very different perspective, everybody feels differently, everybody connects with art very differently. So I do not have a very strict concept about each art, but it's just kind of open, and yet the forms are what actually makes the whole thing for me. I used to paint before, but obviously painting is so two-dimensional. You cannot really do much justice with providing an immersive experience with it. And after completing my architecture, I feel I have developed something in me that makes me look at space much differently now, and I can now make the art piece as a center of the space and then design everything around it. So my medium for art for now is wood, metal, and clay. I also try to experiment with more materials as per what the concept demands. So I'm always open to try new materials, but I might also start learning glass art or incorporate concrete and bamboo and things like that. So I think it's pretty interesting when you know what you really want to make. It's just that you just have to figure out that how, and it's all smooth after that. You just tap into the flow of making art, and it builds by itself. Well, I think it probably came from my belief that everybody has the right to live out their love stories. I mean, who are we to put any labels on anything? I think our generation is pretty fortunate that we are accepting so much liberty and equality now. But before it was so we have had this classist mechanical mindset so much that we had to keep programming ourselves to have very least expectations and only look at these many available choices. But now I really respect the queer community for really appreciating who they are and being proud about it, and being very confident about it, and I think it just inspires me every day, and I am really lucky that I got the opportunity to make an art that commemorates their connection and their love. I think I always wanted my artistic voice to travel far, and this was a good start for me. I'm really very grateful to the IUPUI to let me in and demonstrate my artwork for their Pride festival. I think it's we need to create as much awareness as we can, and as an artist, I feel that we have this responsibility to communicate with our people and express ourselves as much as we can, and kind of not in a very political way, but also in a way where we grow more close to each other and be a strong community. Absolutely, I feel they will connect with the art, especially Europe has been such a great place for the art movements, and they have seen so many generations of art transforming and evolving, and especially people there are pretty open to the new ideas, and we have also started growing so close to the LGBTQ group, and they are being accepted, and hopefully many more regions will tap into the same flow, and so probably getting my piece documented and shown to Germany is a way of me spreading art in the best way I could, and I think it's really great. It's gonna be very interesting. I would really love to know how they feel when they see this kind of art, and what is their feedback on it. So I'm really looking forward to that. I have never displayed my art outside Indiana, but so far, depending on how many shows I have organized here, and it was mostly with my college, I feel I've been really welcomed warmly by the audience, and they connected with the piece and the kind of experience that I wanted to deliver for them. I think they actually felt that, and I think that in itself is a big milestone for me. So my piece is called Pure Connect, and that is the first thing that I usually come up when I hear about queer community, because it's pure connection, it's love, and you don't need to explain why it is the way it is. And when I was building it, it was just purely me being subliminally just feeling what I actually derive from this concept. The piece is completely white, and I try to make parametric architecture, like something that is coming from one point and also connecting to another point, and seamlessly still being connected and flowing. That's how the piece demonstrates. It's not under our control, it's a pure feeling, it's a pure connection. I try to keep it as smooth as possible, and it's like kind of drawing relevance to us as human beings. We are all born from the same source, and we also end up leaving this planet through that same source, so it's as similar to that.